All right, welcome back. We're here with Donna Messina, head of makeup for ABC, and we're talking about all the work she does not only at ABC but specifically on General Hospital. Um, let's jump to General Hospital just for a moment, and I want to jump back to the school. I worked on General Hospital. I was back in the day with John Baradino and Emily McLaughlin. Do you
Yes.
remember those days?
Oh, yes.
Denise Alexander.
Yes, she's still there.
And those were really exciting days. An amazing time I had there. But the thing was, back then, there were so many shows going on at the same time that what we would do is we would go, I did AMLA first. At first I'd come in and do the East Coast feed for Good Morning America. Then we'd do AMLA. Then we'd do an editorial or a teaser for the noon news or whatever the news was
Right.
at that time. Then we'd do the news, and then I'd go over and I'd do Rona Barrett, and then we'd do Let's Make a Deal. And I mean, there were so many shows. And then lastly, we'd go over and we'd do General Hospital. And General Hospital was kind of like the end of the day for me. And I'd go and do General Hospital. And it was such an exciting thing to do General Hospital because it had a film feel to it, and this is back when they were playing an organ.
Yeah.
The music was like the old silent films, and all of the walls were black. Do they still have black walls?
No.
They had black walls because the lights were everywhere, and they would get boom shadows, So they didn't want the boom shadows, so they paint the walls black.
Black.
Let's talk about back in the school. What brought you to? Why did you want to become a makeup artist? What was it that made you want to be a makeup artist?
I'm an artsy, hands-on kind of person anyway. So I started taking some classes at colleges on theater arts and makeup and what have you.
Yes.
And then I found out about the school and drove me right in there, and that was a happy little camper after that.
That's great. Now, I'm sure that it was a little easier than the average bear, let's say, because you had your mom worked at ABC Television.
Yes.
She spoke to John Severino.
Yeah, my daughter wants to get into
Right.
the business.
Right.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
And from there, she had said, well, she's going to school and she's going to
Right.
Joe Blasco in Hollywood.
Yes.
And well, when she's done and she feels like she's ready, we'll give her a shot and see what goes on. And I
Right.
landed in Vegas in my first job.
Wow.
And it was Dwayne,
Fulcher.
was his job, and he didn't get to go.
Wow.
Well, I didn't know I was stepping on people's toes.
That's the biggest thing when I was with newcomers, really, who are not familiar, who are very talented as you are, or who at that time knew in the business, you weren't familiar with the politics of
No.
the industry. You went in fresh out of school. You had these incredible ideals, lots of good ambition, positive thoughts, and
Green.
enthusiasm. The green. Not knowing really how cutthroat it can be at times.
Very cutthroat.
And I remember when I was working on the news, and I would go in, and Lee Weiner was the head makeup artist for the news, and the first time I went in to do the makeup for the news, I brought my case in, and I set it all up, and he's looking at me through the mirror like this, and I look over at his setup, and he's giving me dirty looks, right? And I look at his setup, and he's got like a tan number 1, a tan number 2, and a light Egyptian pancake, dark tech cheek color, and a natural number 2 for highlighting, a bowl of water, and a sea sponge. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. I've got all this RCMA and all this stuff laying out, right? And he looked over at me and he says, kid, what are you doing? We're not doing Quo Vadis here. This is not Ben-Hur.
Right.
Put all that away. This is what you put out. So it's a learning process.
Oh, yes,
You know,
it
and,
is.
and when you're just young and you can really be a bit of an upstart, because I can remember being really disliked because I thought I was really right, because I wanted to do it the right way, the way I thought makeup should be done, and not this slap dab routine real quick and get them in and get them out.
Yeah, no.
And so I was upsetting the apple cart, and you probably went in and did the same thing. But Rudy loved that.
But you changed everything.
I did, yeah.
You changed the entire industry on makeup.
Yeah.
Because there was no slap in makeup.
Yeah, not after me.
No.
Not at ABC, anyway.
No. Across the board. Everyone came in with,
Yeah.
and everyone
And they
was,
would all.
yeah, I mean, you were the,
Yeah. Well, I taught them how to set up properly, how
Yes,
to do makeup, how to
everybody.
respect it, how to, do it the way that you know is best. Don't cut corners.
Right. We
And-
can cut corners now.
Yeah, a little here and there. Now we can. I'll tell you, we've earned it, right? We've earned our place out of the sun.
Well, it's
as they
funny
say.
because I'll have makeup artists and they'll be making up people on the show. And I'll go, are we doing Gone with the Wind? It's like, and they're like, what's Gone with the Wind? I'm like,
Can you imagine?
I'm dating myself. They
Yeah.
don't even know what Gone with the Wind
I
is.
can't even say Carol Burnett or John Wayne. They
No,
don't know
no,
who
no,
these people
no.
are. And it's very difficult now to give a tour of the school to prospective students and to say, here's Mr. Blasco with John Wayne, here's Mr. Blasco with Carol Burnett, here's Mr. Blasco
Legends.
with Rona Barrett, with Hal Linden, with Orson Welles. They go, who's Orson Welles? Hello? It's disappointing in a way. But I can guarantee you, by the time they graduate from the school, they know who these people are and what great part they played in the history of motion pictures and television.
Yes.
And that's important.
We don't forget legends.
No, we don't. Absolutely not. I understand that you are a great proponent of Joe Blasco Cosmetics. I don't want, this is not a commercial, folks. I'm not making this into a commercial. But you do use my products at ABC. You use,
All the time.
You use them on General Hospital specifically. These are
Yes,
the
I do.
products that helped win you these Emmys. What is it about my products that you like?
Consistency, coverage, color. I don't find a product out there that,
Can I tell you something? Excuse me for interrupting. I think you know how to work with it. There are so many people in this industry who do not understand the concept of working with a higher pigmented foundation or product. And they look at the product in the container and they say, oh, this is heavy. But the makeup doesn't jump from the container onto the face. You've got to put it there. It's concentrated in the container for a reason,
Right.
so that you can put it on thin, very thin, and still get coverage. Now you're doing HD. Now, now there's all these products that are coming out, high definition makeup, this and all that. You do know that our foundation can also be used for HD very successfully.
yes, I know that.
Have you been testing?
Well,
it?
I'm gonna start doing tests with the production company with lighting 2 days prior to us really taping.
Right.
On our actors, and there's numerous lines I want to use.
Yes.
No, I'm not changing everything to
Yes.
what they say, quote,
Yes.
high def makeup.
Yes.
I think it's who is applying is the look you're gonna get.
Right.
It's like doing an airbrush and someone going, oh, did you airbrush her? And you're like, no, it's
I did it the right way.
right. I have a thing about airbrushing. I don't think it's.
Well, tell me, what is your opinion of airbrush?
I don't like it at all.
You don't use it on General Hospital?
No, I've used it on our local news because every time something new comes out, or a new line,
Right.
everybody wants to try it. So
Right.
we all go buy it,
Right.
and we all try it, but never fails. I always am using your Joe Blasco's makeup at all times,
Thank you.
every day. I plan on doing it with HD. There's a few other products that I'll use, like back in the day, even the pan sticks, Max Factor pan
Yes.
sticks. I wish they were still around. They were
Yes,
great.
Yes.
I know you loved them.
Yes. Yes.
The pancakes, all our light Egyptian, dark Egyptian that aren't around anymore.
Right.
I mean, those tools are some main tools for blending, for color. But I'm not. I was going to ask you if you're going to come up with the line.
The line
HD.
for HD.
Joe's
no,
HD.
Donna, there's so many companies that are doing this. What I think to be just a marketing strategy, just to sell more makeup to
That's
these
what it is.
to these young kids that really don't understand or know.
No.
And not so much young kids. I mean, anybody in the industry that's new in the industry, can be fooled by this sort of thing. And it's just simply understanding the nature of the beast, understanding the nature of the medium, understanding that, you know, hey, if you know, it's pulling, I mean, if you're seeing all the contours and all the edges are really great and sharp,
Right.
you know, you're going to have to do a makeup that is not going to look like a makeup. You're going to apply it more thinly, more evenly.
Right.
You know, you're going to stain the skin more. But, you know, it's just a matter of how you apply the product. I always say you can buy makeup in a 5 and 10 cent store.
Absolutely.
You know, and make it look good.
It doesn't matter.
You know,
it's all about who's putting it on.
Exactly.
And if you know how to put it on.
Exactly. And here's my, you know what my pet peeve is? I saw an HD line of makeup, I don't know, about a month or so ago, you know, and Travis brought it in and showed it to me. And he said, here, check this, try this out. And they have this powder, which is nothing more than silica,
Right.
you know, and they call it HD powder, right?
Right.
And the problem is that makeup, these newcomers to the industry are using it on dark skin. If they're dark, you can't really powder them with that white powder or the light powder because it goes gray.
Right.
Your eye will not see it, but it doesn't see, you know, you can't see it, but the camera will see it.
Right.
And it picks it up and it has this gray cast. So when you're looking at a makeup on a dark-skinned individual on camera, on a newscaster or whoever, and they're dark and they have this gray look, they've used either that light powder, or even the no color powder. No color powder, that is another fallacy that I found. Ben and I had it down. Ben and I Sr. had it down. He was the first to make these pigmented powders. Now, granted, you can do the powdering, the initial powdering, with the pigmented powder on dark skin, and on dark skin, a darker pigmented powder will apply and will accomplish the same look as a no color powder will on someone who's Caucasian.
Right.
But you try to take a no color powder and put it on somebody who's black, no, it's not going to work.
No.
So you're finding that works. I see we've gone off on these technical things here with HD, but I tried to make everyone that graduated from high school wear these kinds of things, you know, this kind of thing, where they understand not the 1 through 10 of makeup application or 1 through 100, but also the reasons why what they're doing, the technical aspects of makeup application, and obviously you learned them well.
Yes.
You learned them well.
I have been asked, even with this going to switch over to HD, do you know how to do HD makeup? That's from production people.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they're all worried. Well, the equipment's new, but the application isn't. We still know how to adjust to lighting, if it's print, if it's film, if it's tape, or now HD.
Right, exactly.
So,
At the school, can you remember back to some of your experiences that you feel were really some of the best times you had?
yes, every morning we would come in with our case, which is a big black case, which I believe they still sell.
Yeah.
And I still have it to this day. I will not part with it because it's memories. Started in school. And they would look, it was a gal named Amy. She would look.
Amy Taffert.
She would look over everything to make sure everything was clean in there. Anyway, she would take it from there, and then we would set up. And every day was a lesson as it went on, you know.
Right.
But she had a thing about tweezing eyebrows, and most people say plucking eyebrows. And we tweeze a chicken.
You pluck a
We
chicken.
pluck a chicken and tweeze our
You
eyebrows.
can tweeze a chicken, but it takes an awful long
Anyway,
time.
it's funny. She used to give us hard stuff about that. What was that other guy's name? Arallo?
Oh, Bob Arello, yeah.
Yeah.
Bob, went on to do ER. He's no longer with us. He passed away
Oh, he
about a year or
did.
so ago. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He was a good guy. I loved Bob, and he was a hairdresser, and he'd been a friend of mine for a long, long time. and he had been working in salons. And he came to me and he says, you know, he says, I just don't know what I'm going to do. I hate working in these salons. I want to do something else. I said, why don't you come over here and let me teach you makeup and we'll see if you're any good at it. So he went through the course 3 times, and he became one of the instructors there.
Right.
And that.
One of mine.
One of your instructors. Then he went on afterwards to work on ER, and he was on ER for a long, long time. Yeah, good guy, real good guy. So back to your story.
So back to the story with the school. I think there wasn't anything that the school didn't leave out. When I started, I didn't ever feel nervous. And maybe it's my personality or not, or it was what I learned here.
Right.
When it came to bruising, blood, cuts, prosthetic pieces, hair, I mean, no matter what it was, I never felt like, oh no, I'm not going to know what to do.
Right.
Because this makeup artist used to make Catherine and myself always go do all the elaborate stuff.
All the special makeup.
Right. And I never felt nervous. I don't know if it was because I was scared to death of PK, which I can tell you I wasn't, or if it was the producer, Gloria Monty. Now, that was a woman we were all afraid of.
Yes.
But I think as far as the school, on what I learned, those tools took me out there, and I never, ever questioned myself. Why? I think it's basically you pretty much ironed me into what I needed to do with what they were
Right.
asking for. I never felt like I was going to fail.
Yes.
I
I tried to instill that kind of thinking and that kind
Yeah.
of attitude and that type of passion into all of my students.
And then even when I was up against something I've never done before, I still felt, I don't know, maybe it was just you were around. I mean, it was like, that's what came with me from the school.
Yes.
I didn't forget anything, even the perpetual whiteback to this
The
day.
perpetual
I wish we
whiteback.
could still do that. Yeah.
That's great.
Well, we're going to bring that stuff back.
But wait a minute now, you can still do the
Well,
people
no, not when you're working with that regime of people. Everything natural,
Oh, natural.
nothing,
Yeah.
very little. They didn't want to see makeup. How ugly is that?
Yeah.
What is that? Okay, I'm all into, the 80s makeup. Everyone makes fun of the
Right,
80s
right,
makeup.
right.
Get over it.
Yeah.
That is what people want to see, not what we look like next
Right.
door. Our neighbors, who cares?
Isn't that technique part of the secret of winning these little babies over here?
Oh yeah, none of this was done on natural. No. There was nothing natural about it. I mean, you saw someone and you would see makeup.
That's right.
But, there's all these styles. But, I mean, as a viewer and even watching soaps, people want to see even Dynasty, Colby's. I'm still dating myself.
Yes.
That's how far back I am.
It's okay.
But everyone looked at that. Everyone was zhuzhed up.
Right.
Now this natural stuff is so
Right,
ugly.
right,
It's
right.
like, shoot myself.
It doesn't work.
No.
You can't really do as much correction if you're not
No, and
doing some design work there with
Exactly.
the eyes. You
Right.
know, that's
Right.
shading. A little liner and
Yeah, you
fog
need some
down.
look. Well, I looked at tapes this year for the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first year I did not submit anything. I got a phone call from upstairs.
Really?
You don't have nothing. How come you're not submitting? I said, what do you want me to submit?
Yeah.
There's nothing. I go, there's people out there that know us, know me.
Right.
Well, hi, here's my,
Yeah.
there's nothing. Natural, ugly.
Right.
boom.
Right.
It's like,
You know-
that's not award winning.
Yeah, exactly. Now you won your Emmys for beauty makeup. I mean, for
Beauty
the design.
makeup, well, 2 of them
Yes.
are for really beating up a
Really?
rape victim. Oh, yeah. Port Charles was a lot of special effects. That was
Yes.
strictly special effect winning. One of the other ones are for a rape victim.
Yes,
Several women that were beaten.
This is very important because you're hitting on something that every student of makeup artistry should know and be aware of and appreciate and respect. And that is that if they think that they're going to get a job working on a show like General Hospital, only knowing beauty makeup,
Right.
they may have another thought coming.
No, that doesn't fly.
Doesn't.
No,
That's right.
no. You
Tell
need
us
all
about it.
aspects
Tell us about it.
of makeup. You cannot be in this industry and just get by doing beauty.
Yes.
Because if you get called to a cattle call job, that's what they call it when there's multiple over the regulars.
Yes.
Most of the time, either second unit or your cattle call of people need to do all the special stuff. If it's dead people, everyone cut,
Yes.
bruised up, beat up.
Yes.
That's what they're using all the extra makeup for.
Right.
So beauty, if that's all you know, you're not going to get anywhere. Your hands are going to be,
Right.
you're not going to know what to do.
What's the process of getting a job with you at ABC? What do you do? Do you have a testing process?
They do have to know all aspects of makeup. Of course, we don't do prosthetics. We have, but it wouldn't be someone coming in new. It would be, I would take it. And if I couldn't do it because I had too much else to do, I would hire in someone who specializes in that.
Do you have a lab there?
No, I don't.
No.
No.
You can always use our lab downstairs.
Right, well, actually,
we're right
I've-
around the corner.
I've had stuff done for me here,
Good.
and then I apply it over there.
Excellent.
Because I don't have those
Yeah.
facilities.
Yeah.
Nor the time.
Yeah, really. Now, is there a actual makeup department? Remember the little makeup department that Rudy Horvitich had? Is there something similar to that where you have your office and your own private makeup chair? How is your makeup department configured? Because really, you're one of the last department heads that actually has a physical makeup department.
Right, and there are production people on that lot. That where Rudy's office was, only a small part of it. The very front, where that desk was, his
Yes.
assistant,
Yes.
it's been taken over by another department. But the rest of it is still mine.
Yes.
And from Rudy days, that stuff is still in there, and I still keep everything just so, and you will not take that away. Because that needs to stay. Number one, we store a lot of stuff over there, but there are lots of things.
Are you
from-
talking about over there near the scenic department?
Yeah.
Downstairs, right? You go
Oh,
down
yeah,
the
and the
steps.
makeup chairs in the back, which you
Right.
were in several times, I
Right.
remember. And a lot of your work, a lot of your, memorabilia is
Right.
still there.
Yeah.
The frames, the pictures.
Yes.
That's not going nowhere.
Yeah, good.
As far as my office, I don't have an office. I am just a makeup artist.
Every room is your office.
No, but I
as
just-
long as there's a makeup chair
Right,
there.
exactly. I mean, I'll do makeup right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into, everyone's equal.
Right. The makeup artists, how many makeup artists do you have working the show?
Most of the time, 5 to 6 a day. That's on a regular day, and 4 to 5 hairdressers. And-
Are they mainly all women, or are there men also
No, I got a
that work?
mix.
They're mixed?
Mixed.
And they all do all phases of makeup artistry?
Every one of them.
Yes. Now, when you give a test, someone calls you and says, I'd like to get a job at ABC. What kind of a test? What exactly will you ask them to do for you?
Beauty, bruising, cuts, hair, beard work, mustache work,
Bald caps?
bald caps. But if it's bald caps, which we have had bald caps,
Right.
I do bald caps
You do bald
because
cap.
from this school,
Yes.
I did the fastest bald cap.
Honey, you've got to come in and do a bald cap.
I
demo
did it so
for
fast I impressed myself. And then I hadn't done one in years. And we needed bald caps over there, and everyone's like sort of worried that have been around for a long time. I haven't done a bald. How often do people do bald caps? But there again, the bird that's right here, you.
Right.
So I was right here. I swear I put it out in less than an hour.
That's
It was
great.
bitching. It came out awesome. I'm like, oh,
That's great. Rubber or plastic? The vinyl?
Whatever you sell here is what I got.
Yeah.
That was
It was vinyl.
vinyl.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
vinyl. That's what we were
It
teaching.
was really thin edges. It was
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't even rip it.
Good.
I hadn't
So
done it
proud
in
of
years.
you.
I was so proud of
That's
myself.
great.
Yeah.
That's great. We have the makeupspace.com, which is a sister station to this studio, MUATV. And I'd like to invite you to come and to actually do some work with us on the makeupspace.com, and we'll talk more about that after we're off the air. Okay, we're not gonna bore our audience with that. But right now, excuse me for just 1 second. Right now, we're going to take just 1 minute, another little commercial break, and we'll be right back with Donna right after these words. Don't go away.